Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Adam, thanks for joining us on the show. How's everything going over there in Virginia? You said it is?
Yeah. Virginia. I moved here a couple years ago from Pennsylvania, where the band takes place mostly. But yeah, things are going really well here.
How far away is that? I don't know.
It's about a 5-hour drive.
Oh.
It's nothing terrible, it's no, UK drive times are kind of 2 hours anywhere is an impossibly long distance to you folk, but
yeah.
5 hours is not terrible.
No, but I mean, that's like state to state. Right.
Yeah.
Still,
yeah. It's significant enough that, it takes some effort for us to come together now, but I mean, our drummer lives in Reno, Nevada, which is, on the other side of the country entirely. So
hectic.
Me being far away is not, not quite a hindrance in the way that is sometimes.
That's full on, man. That's full on. I heard that you're going to be a dad soon, man.
Yeah. It's just, he's, that boy's coming. He's coming quick.
Hey, it does. It is this number one for you?
Yes. It's the number one for me. Yeah.
Crazy, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, very exciting, very scary, but very fun. I'm excited to be a dad.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, you've got your boy in the way, musical babies. There's my little segue. You've just released a new Rivers of Nihil. Is it Nile? This is a debate down here.
It's a debate. It's seemingly a lot of places. It's Nile. We say Nile, but I think the proper pronunciation is Nihil. I don't know. We've been schooled by Latin people, people who know about Latin language, and we're just like, oh, we've been saying Nile the whole time. No, we don't pay it too much mind.
All right, well, let's roll with that then, and I'm going to tell everyone that's how it's said because you said it. That's how it's meant to be pronounced. But the new Rivers of Nihil album, The Work, has recently been released, and it's been received incredibly well, especially down here by a lot of people I know in the metal community. I mean, I've seen people even go as far as to say it's album of the year. That's it for them.
That's great. So yeah, it's been not so many people, it's been a lot of both. It seemed like it was really divisive at the beginning there, a lot of people got on board with it big time, and some people just not so much.
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
it's bound to happen, and we expected it with all the sort of risks that we took, but to see people really grasp onto it the way that they did, so that, like, I've seen a lot of people just really connecting with it, and that's been super encouraging to see. Yeah,
absolutely, man. I mean, it's extremely bold and diverse and just incredibly complex. Like, it's just next level, dude. And I wouldn't even know where to start to even put something like that together. I guess the question is, what's the seed of that? Like, how do you even map something that big and huge, out?
It's sort of, you start with the song, you start with one, and you kind of, then you see where the next one takes you, and and then you sort of start to build, an idea. By the time you have like 5 or so songs put together, kind of get an idea for where the direction of the thing is going, and then from there it's it's then you're just putting it together in the most pleasing way. But this record seemed like a lot of it seemed like a more difficult puzzle than usual because as songs came together, they were, very disparate in tone in a lot of ways, and to fit them together in a way that made sense and felt interesting to me was kind of a challenge.
What was the most challenging? Because as you said, like there's so many things going on. There's so many different elements. Like, what was there one particular part where you guys were like, "How are we gonna crack this one?"
Yeah, I mean, there are actually, a handful of songs that were pretty much fully written that were so weird that they couldn't make the record whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, we come to think of it, we picked a lot of relatively tame stuff. But it's just like there are always like moments where it's just like we knew like maybe one day that the track 10 on the record was sort of like the tough nut to crack on this one. Like we knew we wanted this on the record, but it was always a question of like how and where on the record do we place this, and what significance does it offer. And I think it kind of serves as an sort of ending to the story of the record in general before you get to the epilogue of the closing track. But those things are, always fun to put together for me, like to construct and to find where, this acoustic type ballad fits in amongst all these death metal riffs and stuff like that. It's a good time. It's fun to figure out how this works to me.
It definitely flows really well too. I mean,
Okay.
that it seems, that's what I was saying before, it'd be like an impossible task to make it really flow, but then you just manage to do it, and it's such a beautiful record, man. You know, or should I say brutal? But
Yeah.
because it's both. But I mean, there's so many elements on here that you guys have drawn from, like different musical. There's a ton of prog on there, even some industrial blended in with the brutal stuff. Was there specific influences you guys were drawing from collectively for the direction of this one?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it's always like we're always very influenced by something that's going on musically at the time. Like I think for this record we wanted to do something that felt um it felt of today. Like it felt like a record that's something that is appropriate in this day and age, like feeling wise and message wise, I guess, but also the sounds just sort of wanted, we wanted to spread our wings a little bit, and like it felt like maybe there's a lot of there's just a lot of playing sides with the genres and stuff like that, and something maybe we just wanted to make sure we didn't fall into,
But I mean, there's a lot of, I love the attention to detail. There's a lot going on in the background. Like there's like in the opening track, there's the line, was it, while you're out there waiting for the train to come, you can hear like that. It sounds like that faint screeching of tracks.
yeah.
It's very cinematic, man. It's
Right.
and that
Yeah.
drew me in.
Yeah, it feels like it's, I don't know, like it's a weird concept because it takes in so much, and like there's like a lot of, there's just so much that we wanted to express in, and there's music is a hard storytelling medium. It's hard to get your point across, like if you have a specific tone or story without being too hammy, it's hard to communicate these things. But it's nice to connect a few symbols, and you can help like that, like the trains or the knocking sounds, and like the sounds of like blizzards or air moving, and you can connect to these things as a theme throughout. And it felt like that that was like an appropriate way to tell this story and make it feel like a, feel like an event rather than just a, the newest batch of songs that we're, putting out there.
That's it. I think that's a good way of putting it. An event. It's like or an experience.
Yeah, right.
It's not something you can just put on while you. I mean, you can. I mean, I was listening to it at work, but I mean, it's something that also that I feel that it's such a good piece of work. Well, that it's something you need to experience and give the time to as well, and you'll get a lot more out of it when you do.
Yeah, it's a sit back and listen to it on your headphones in private kind of thing.
Yeah.
At its heart, and less of a like, crank it out your windows on your way screeching out of the gym or whatever, in your car or something like, something like that. Like that's an experience that a lot of people like want from their death metal, but like. I don't think that that's what we were aiming for this time. And I just wanted it to feel more like something like, like a Tommy or a Dark Side of the Moon kind of thing, where you need to give it your attention to get the full thing out of it.
That's right. I'm hanging to get it on vinyl. I've just fallen down the vinyl rabbit hole.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like keen to get it on vinyl and do it because that's my time. That's my relaxing time, I guess now, and I think I'll get a lot out of that. So buy the vinyl, people. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the this resurgence of the vinyl culture. I think is it kind of goes back to making listening to music more of a ritual versus the modern day thing where it's just you can flip through every song in the world on your phone at at your fingertips, where you have to intentionally take a big disc that takes up space in your house that you spent a lot of money on, put it on some really nice speakers that you obsessed over, and then listen to a whole thing. I think it's beautiful that people still do that, and it makes making records like this worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm very, very keen. But in regards to the concept, I mean, I guess it could be interpreted in a few different ways. But what I got from it was maybe obsession and sacrifice, maybe even addiction, maybe. It's so many different things. But the main thing that ties it all together is the repeating theme of work. How does that how does that tie through it all?
It ties it, especially in the times that we just lived through. It was really sort of this mantra where, like, in my life, the work is everything. Like it's how you keep food on the table. It's how you express yourself. It's how you maintain relationships. It's how you balance all of these chemicals in your brain, and how you know things, and everything you do in your life is a result of how much work you put in, or what you don't, equally as much what you don't do.
Yes.
So that idea, especially coming off of a record that took our careers from being more or less just a hobby, albeit popular with some people, to it being our lives, and us kind of having to rely on it more, and it turning into a job, and the idea of our art being subject to capitalism and the hard strain of a need to do so. What almost is it didn't so much, that part didn't so much necessarily bum me out, but did make me think about it a lot. And then, of course, once the pandemic hit, we were about halfway into writing this thing. I thought it was all going to be gone, and no matter amount of lamenting my responsibilities for the band, or our responsibility to create, could bring it back, and it brings a kind of new purpose to the whole thing. And so writing through all of that was hard in a way that, like, I couldn't really even imagine already working on this album called The Work, and then just have the world end while I'm making it. It was just like it's almost like I did it on like it happened to like because of me or something. I don't know. Like it just it feels like everything's your fault, and there's that kind of repeating line and
yeah,
and it's just all that energy out there. Just you wonder what it does at scale, I guess.
Oh, you know what? Everything you just said then has been running through my mind as well.
Yeah, I imagine these things have been running through a lot of people's minds. So it helped me get to a point where I'd be wallowing so much in writing these lyrics and like feeling really terrible. But at the same time, I'd have to be like, everyone else in the world feels just as bad as I do right now. So I can't really be sad. I have to do this. And that's where the impetus of the do the work kind of mantra is repeated. I can't afford to be, this down and out about this. So got to get it done.
That's it. That's exactly right, man. And well, it is done. And now
it's in a lot of ways, it's only just begun.
Yeah, well, that's right, man. I think things will get back to normal eventually, and I mean, it's starting to globally, which is positive. I know it's baby steps, but I get the feeling when it really does, it's going to be better than ever.
I'm, based on the touring that we're fortunate enough to do this year, I have every confidence that we can all make a good return to this thing, and we can all, learn to really appreciate what it is that we have as a scene of music fans, out there who go to shows together and experience this thing as a whole community now, because it's more interwoven than ever throughout the world and the internet and everything. We're all in this thing, like and it feels like it felt less petty or something. Like there's just more like mutual respect between the audience and the band, I guess. This past tour, which is something I'm hoping will translate to the other parts of the world, and I'm positive it will. That's exciting to me.
100% agree. 100% agree, man. Well, I mean, talking about the other side of the world, I'm on the other side of the world. I'm on the arse end of the world. I'm right down here, so you're up there somewhere. But I remember when where Owls Know My Name dropped, and it was such a massive game changer that really put you guys on the map, especially down here in Australia. Like it was insane. Like everybody was like talking about that album. How's that ride been for you? I mean, it seemed that you guys were jamming for ages, and then obviously that was the one that really kicked it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it took the band from being largely our hobby, one that we took very seriously and loved dearly. Like we have nothing. We up until like this point in our lives, we have nothing but this band. That's all we've ever cared about, and but it wasn't, necessarily bringing home the bacon or anything like that. And then Owls hits, and we're just kind of going about business as usual, just hoping that we can get some like support tours and just hoping people aren't too annoyed about the saxophone. and then like things just started, like they just kept going up. Like it felt like we did a small run of Canadian shows as a headlining band, and like the last time we had headlined, the shows were okay at best, kind of depressing at worst. And then it's just like every night of this thing would just sell out, and we were just like, what's going on? Like what did we do? What did we do differently this time? We don't really understand. And it just went so well, and then before you know it, it's just like the band is our job, and like we're making major life changes amidst all of everything. And it like a huge impact, you know, on us in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways, it's really overwhelming. But it, you know, gave us pause and like, you know, for me, it was like, especially like, wow, I have to really like look at this now. And like, because people are listening and I have to choose my words carefully, I suppose. Where, you know, as opposed to before, I didn't have to really think about it.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I got to go down to Australia, which is one of my favorite experiences of you know, having this whole thing happen. Got to see so much of the world that I never did before, and it's just, you know, it's truly incredible. I couldn't be more pleased by all of that, but it also is it's a lot of pressure.
Yes, I could imagine. Absolutely.
The
work.
Yes, yeah. It's you know, I've never seen myself as anyone particularly special. You know, like I'm just a kid who likes music a lot. And like so much, I like music so much that I wanted to make it. It's like fan fiction, you know. And to just have it work and have people respond to it in a way that I might have to somebody else's music that I admired is it's hard to get over in your head, I guess. Like, so it's weird to come to grips with sometimes, but
man,
it's cool.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all the way down here, and you know, as you said, you came down here, and man, that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a great time, and I can't wait to come back. Hopefully that's an available option soon.
Mate, the door, going by all the responses I've seen online, mate, the door is wide open, and the beers are ready for you. The beers are in the esky, ready to go. Anytime you say, I mean, well, as soon as it can, just jump on the plane, come down here, and we're ready for it, mate. You name it.
Yeah, man. As soon as the world allows, and right. Timing is right.
That's right. I'm just going to put it out there. Dream Tour, Archspire, Rivers, together, Australia. Yeah.
It's so funny to me. I love that band, and I love those guys. Yeah. I love touring with them. They're some of my favorite people to tour with. But I find it so funny that we have such a cross section of fans that we're just like, you know, kind of not similar sounding, or like we have such different goals as bands that they're so amazing at what they do, and it's just like they have that solid pursuit of the number that they just like are just faster all the time, which is amazing. And we're just over here trying to like incorporate more dad rock. Like, you know.
But I think together that would be such an incredible tour for us here. I mean, I recently spoke to Toby. Shout out to Toby. He's such a good dude. He's like,
Toby's great. Toby's great. Me and him like we toured in Europe a couple years ago, and we were both running our respective merch tables, so we hung out a lot. Yeah, Toby's good people.
He is, and he loves it. We were talking a lot about action figures and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we're all about it.
Yeah, I used to collect Transformers there for a while, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't really see behind me, but that whole thing is all Transformers. And
that's cool.
And I keep my little G1 Prime with me.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Is he a real G1 Prime, or is he a G2 Prime?
That was a hand-me-down.
Okay, all right.
But I do have this. I don't know if you can see it, but Peter Cullen.
Oh, sweet.
My arm under my Prime.
Yeah.
Greatest day of my life, son.
Huh. Dr. Claw himself.
Hey, you know, Peter Cullen. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, Transformers. Yeah. See? I knew there would be a nerdy connection in there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big. That was my whole thing when I was a kid. I just wanted as many of those as I could. And then like when I got old enough and I was like had money and like they were coming out with like newer ones, I was like, these are still really fun. They're like little puzzles, but also I love the way they look. So I ended up with way too many of them.
Oh, mate, do you still have them?
I do. They're locked away in storage somewhere. Yeah.
Set them free.
Yeah.
Onto the shelf. You've got a really nice little shelf in the background there, mate. I could see that.
No Transformers here right now.
Yeah. See, that's why
not in the wife's domain.
See, that's why I've got this room. Everything else outside of this room is my wife's domain as well. But this room is where I cram all my childhood garbage. That makes her kind of mad. But that's all right.
Good for you. Good for you. Hold on,
mate. Yeah, they're all about it. But of course, I mean, what was I talking about? God, we went off on Transformers, but anyway. But what's your plans coming up for 2022? I know you just did a run with Black Dahlia.
And
you've got a bunch of stuff next year. But what about in between that?
Well, in between a bunch of stuff next year, there will be more stuff that we have yet to announce yet, but we'll be awfully busy. The beginning part of the year, I'm going to be a little busy, changing diapers and things of the sort.
That's right.
So we might be a little quiet for the time being, but we'll be getting over to Europe during the festival season and going back there again with Archspire in the fall. We just rescheduled dates that were supposed to happen this year to next year. And then we'll also be hitting a few other places as headliners. That's probably more than I should already say, but
that's all right. Keep spilling the beans, mate.
I'm terrible at this. I hate keeping secrets. I hate. I know why I have to, but I think it's annoying.
And then you got jerks like me that are like fishing for all the information. And then
I mean, you're who you are over there, and like I understand how this works. We all do. I'm gonna slip up, and it's gonna be fine.
Hey, man. Hey, that's on me. But dude, hey, I'm stoked for you in your journey into dadhood. That's for sure. And the new album's incredible. But hopefully we'll see you down here at some point, brother.
Yeah. We'll make it a point. We loved coming down there when we did with Neo and all the above. And so we're gonna make it a point to get down there in any way, shape, or form that we could. Yeah, in the coming, hopefully immediate future. Yeah.
I'm keeping faithful on it. But in the meantime, dude, hey, thanks for hanging out on the show.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to it's not coffee, it's water. That's coming. But
you can have a drink.
We'll sort that out when you come down here, bro. But in the meantime, take care, enjoy parenthood, and we'll have all the links down here for the album. See you soon, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.